EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Murray now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Texans will take over.
Ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He gets this one to Mechie. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, And
he fires one that's intercepted. 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. To throw is Murray. And this is caught by Curse. Room here to run. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas. 47 yards.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the 1st down. But in this case, he turned into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Here's Jacobs. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be complete to Mechie. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs. In the top 5 in the NFL, it's all a mindset. And I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pierce. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Pierce. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Try to wedge his way in there, no signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Murray back near his goal line. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is fielded at the 27. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side, their defense. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying to force plays, right? You're trying to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Murray now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Now, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jacobs going to try the middle. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Running is Jacobs. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 103 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Jacobs again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. Third and goal. Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
The kick by Carlson is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. He'll drop to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. Going for it with Pierce. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them, and still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Second down and inches. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception. Anthony Averett picks it, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
And good yardage yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
115 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. With that last effort, he has reached now 10,000 career rushing yards. Congratulations.
Big-time congratulations. That also means that his publicist can make sure all the information gets to every voter out there who has a say in the Hall of Fame. Fashioning together a heck of a resume.
Go on, Hurt.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs.
And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you force turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for Las Vegas, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.